Dietrich Bonhoeffer once wrote, "When the Lord calls a man, an individual, he in fact bids that person to come and die." We certainly know those particular dyings and risings in our everyday life. Some of them much more significant than others. Perhaps there was a moment early on in our life in which we had those particular dreams and aspirations of where life would lead us, what career we would select, and then suddenly we were met with many frustrations in the place where we landed our employment. Perhaps parents have had high hopes for their children and have only come to see that those children of theirs perhaps have made wrong choices and have not done things according to how they wish things would be. And even as we kind of age, we perhaps thought that it would be an easy transition into these so-called golden years. But perhaps we have been met with those challenges of illness or limitations of some kind. And so there are those particular dyings in our own life, but it is replaced by the risings once again. These dyings and risings are what we do each and every day throughout our life before the big one, the big dying. We've heard that familiar phrase, "What goes up must come down." Well, I think Jesus is taking that in a little bit of a twist. He says what goes down, in fact, must come up. That tiny seed, that grain of wheat that's planted in the ground, in its darkness, in that hard shell, will only rise to the life of fruitfulness for which purpose it has been. And the same is true for each and every one of us. To the extent that we empty ourselves, that we accept those particular challenges and dyings of everyday life, we too will rise with the Lord, who promises always to be with us. He calls us to be good and faithful disciples, and so we follow. But he also reminds us that in accepting that challenge of discipleship, there are also the crosses that we must bear. And so we come to this place today to be nourished, to be given that particular direction of hopefulness, that even in the midst of the challenges, the crises, the anxieties of life, the Lord is with us to raise us up, knowing that accepting those dyings, we rise to him and with him in that new and never-ending life of hopefulness, of peace, and of joy.
Thank you for participating in the digital liturgy today. The digital ministry touches the lives of many people, as does almost 80 other ministries here at OLPH. Grateful for the community that connects to OLPH through this digital forum. It's unbelievable how many people are able to access the liturgy and other events because of this ministry. Please consider supporting OLPH. All of your sacrifices help to sustain this parish and to keep moving us into the future. Thank you very much, and keep watching.